Thank you very much for having me again at the Forum Nordicum. Very happy to be here and to at least give you a short update from Nordic Combined and what we have for this coming season. So the team, as you can see here, is the same. No changes, let's say, in the FIS staff for Nordic Combined, so we keep our team through and going into this important Olympic season with all the members that we've had for several years, and we feel that has been working quite well. I do have a short little video from our Summer Grand Prix, actually, just to show you a little bit of what we also do in the summer, so that even though all of you are probably seeing it online, I assume on our social networks, I thought maybe we could show it also here if it's working, maybe not. You have the sound over there.
The closest that Nordic Combined ever comes to the Tour de France is the night race in Oberstdorf. Many spectators, a great atmosphere, and it's home game for Team Germany.
It's always special to compete at home. It's in the summer, it's a bit relaxed, the atmosphere. The spectators are so enthusiastic, especially at the last uphill. Everybody's cheering on the side, like Tour de France. It's yeah, always special, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's race.
Yes, it's my hometown, and I think the mountains and the landscape is very beautiful, and the training conditions are just perfect.
Yeah, I need it really. I'm looking forward. It's the highlight of the summer, and yeah, luckily it's 21 the world champs again here in Oberstdorf, and then hopefully the World Cup is back.
Especially at the last climb, there are many guys and they're on fire, so I think it's very beautiful and nice. It pushes me really, and I think I had my first big competition here, and it was just crazy, and it's really nice.
So our now traditional Summer Grand Prix of 1 week, fantastic events for us through the summer. So going into winter, the season is containing Olympic Games, and of course in close cooperation with our colleagues from ski jumping and cross country, we try to not do too many changes. In terms of let's say the news coming up for this this winter for the World Cup part is a opening tour in Ruka, which consists of 3 events starting on Friday, going through the weekend, and we are, let's say, focusing on the overall winners. It means that there is a little bit of prize money for the top 3 each day, but we do gather more or less all of the prize money for the overall list after Sunday's event, and so it's a little bit of a highlight going into the season. It's also together with cross country. They also have more or less a little bit of a similar tour in Ruka, so we will start off hopefully with a bang on that. The second part that we will introduce this year is a red bib and a blue bib. This is for hopefully the TV viewers, the spectators on site, everyone out there to see who is at the moment the current leader of, let's say, each part of our discipline. So the best at the moment jumper and the best at the moment skier, which have then the blue and the red bib. And of course it will be a ranking through the season, and at the end we will distribute a little bit of prize money for each of those 2 bibs. So those are, let's say, the 2 main parts in terms of news coming up for this season. When we go to the calendar, there's also a couple of new parts. First of all, it's consists of 28 World Cup events, which is a record for Nordic Combined. So we're very happy for the support that we get from the national ski federations and the organizing committees to have such a big calendar for the Olympic season as well. So with the Olympics, we have 31 events for our athletes on the top level. We do have normally, together with our colleagues Ruka and Lillehammer, with those 2 Nordic events before Christmas, we have a newcomer from Estonia on the calendar, Otepää, the first weekend of January. That's also a very important weekend for us because the girls are with us for the first time. I will come back to that. Then we have our traditional part in January with Val di Fiemme, Genève and Seefeld, and then we come back to Hakuba in Japan since 2003, the Olympic site from '98. Very happy to have them also, of course, on the calendar. Then a little bit of a bigger period after the Olympics. We are our normal spots with Lahti, Oslo and Trondheim, and then we come here to Klingenthal for the, let's say, the start of the end, if you want to put it that way, with 2 German weekends at the end of the season, finishing up in Schonach with the big finale. So a long season, record number of events coming into this season, so we are definitely looking forward to that. We do have put in a little bit of a tour in the beginning, then we have the triple in Seefeld, which is our World Cup highlight, coming into the Olympics, and then going to the final in Schonach at the end of the season. Then to our premiere season for the ladies. As Sarah mentioned, we have worked hard, and especially the national ski federations, the support from all the clubs and the development so far has been very good. We've had the ladies with us for several summers, especially in Oberstdorf with our Summer Grand Prix there for a Youth Cup training camp for the ladies. We have now been able to establish a series. Last year we had the first overall Youth Cup season with overall winners in both men's and ladies categories. Representing here also, I think, a local athlete with Jenny Novak, which I think is from just around here, which won one of the categories for the ladies for the Youth Cup last year. We had our Youth Cup finale in Norway, in Trondheim last winter. The Norwegian Crown Prince showed up for the Youth Cup, and that was what he did. He said, I will take a look at what you guys are doing for the development, but he didn't watch either the Nordic Combined World Cup that was going on just a couple hours later, or the ski jumping event going on the next day. So he came up and visited the Youth Cup, so we were of course very happy for that. So through this summer we have again established even more Youth Cup events. This is a picture from Vuokatti, where actually it starts in August, and they have one event on roller skis, and they also have one event in the ski tunnel for the youth. So in the summer, mid-August, they're able to have events both outside and inside. Through the summer, this is the let's say the hairy goal that we established last year. We presented a long-term strategy for the ladies Nordic Combined to the council, with a lot of support from Sarah and from FIS. We have been able to take the steps up until now. So everything you see in blue is according to the plan or the strategy that we presented last year. Going into the 18th season with Continental Cup. Then we are continuing into 19 with Junior Worlds, and 20, as Sarah mentioned, already confirmed to be part of the Youth Olympic Games. And then we are aiming for the World Championships 21 and also 22 Beijing. Yes, Sarah.
Just to mention that, in fact, we have a proposal from the German Ski Association to add the latest Nordic Combined to the program of the FIS Nordic World Ski Championships in Oberstdorf to the FIS Congress. It has to be a decision of the FIS Congress. They've already submitted that proposal that will be addressed next year at the Congress in Greece.
Yep, thank you, Sarah. And of course, the main point is, of course, number of nations taking part, number of athletes taking part, and of course also the level. So there is a big task for our ladies out there. It's a big task for all the trainers and national ski federations. But we do see that we have a quite wide support. This summer we had 14 nations on start with approximately 40 girls. Then also missing 3 or 4 nations that we know have had also national championships for the ladies. And of course also the boys are involved in the youth development, no questions asked. So a big majority of the starting field in the summer is boys, but we do see the growth in the ladies as well. So very proud and happy to present this calendar, which is the first official FIS Nordic Combined Ladies Continental Cup calendar for the coming season. As I mentioned, we start in Otepää. This is together with the World Cup for men. Then we have 2 events in Rena, Norway, together with the Continental Cup men. Then we are a test event, or we have a test event for the ladies during the Kandersteg Junior World Ski Championships, end of January, first part of February. And this happens on the smaller hill compared to where the rest of the World Championships will happen. And then we finish off the first premier season for the ladies in Russia with 2 events together with our Continental Cup boys. So of course a very exciting season for us in Nordic Combined to see the development and hopefully support both the ladies, both the men's tour, and to then hopefully take the next steps that we have planned through our strategy. So those are basically the main news going into this season. As I mentioned, I think that's also let's say a strategy going into an Olympic season. We don't want to do too many changes. due to the preparations of the teams and athletes that are going to compete in the Olympics. Questions? Fragen? Seems that everyone is happy, so that's good.
Yes. In ladies cross-country World Cup, people are saying that there are less interest because of one nation so dominating. Could one say about the same for the German combined team?
Yes and no, I would say. We have seen the last winter the highest TV ratings that we've ever had in Nordic Combined. And I think there's a bit of a difference if you see in cross country, especially the last seasons, Norway has been the dominant nation. And of course, no questions asked that the TV numbers or the interest in Norway is tremendous in terms of cross country. But when you go to Middle Europe, you don't see the same interest. And luckily for Nordic Combined, we do have a German dominance, have had the German dominance the last couple of years. So the interest, at least in Middle Europe, is quite big. But of course, we do hope, and the goal is, of course, to have more nations taking part, fighting for the podium, fighting for the medals. And when you go back in at least the last two Olympics, we have seen that the Olympic season is a bit different compared to the other seasons. So I am convinced that we will see a more interesting, more exciting and fun Nordic Combined season coming up. Of course, not excluding the Germans. They will definitely be fighting as well. But we do hope that more nations will take part. We have some comebacks coming up with Jason Lamy-Chapuis, which is very interesting. Coming into this Olympic season. We do have a young team from Finland that has shown very positive signs through the summer. Our overall winner of the Summer Grand Prix was from Estonia. So we do see that the sport is developing in also more countries than in Middle Europe. So of course we do hope that the other nations will fight together, of course, with the Germans in terms of the podiums. Thank you.